Hey, what's up, comic fans? Mr. Q Comics back with some more show and tell. Okay, today I've got part two of my end of 2023 highlights. This is all stuff I picked up in the last 3 or 4 months, 2023. Not all from one spot. It's just kind of the highlights of things I had been picking up. This stuff here is stuff I'm either getting graded to sell later on, or mostly stuff that I plan to hold onto in the personal collection. So again, not one amazing haul from one spot, but just a bunch of cool books I picked up over the end of 2023. Some amazing deals in here as well. So before we dive into it, guys, if you're a fan of haul videos, do me a favor, go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let me know what you think about these pickups. All right, first one we're going to jump in with is a book I meant to show off in part one. It's a book I got from an Instagrammer, Dave Bartik. I showed off some Golden Age books I got from him. I got this with it, and I had set it somewhere else and forgot to show it off. It is Comics Journal 117. This is that classic Dave Stevens cover. Absolutely love this. Got him on the cover. You got this beautiful girl on the cover with him modeling. Just classic Dave Stevens cheesecake art, whatever you want to call it. Very expensive book. This is probably about a 7. I got it for about 115 bucks. It worked out to when I was buying all the other books from him, which is a pretty good price. High grade is really expensive in this, but for me, tough book to find. I've been wanting it for a while. I was buying other stuff and he had it, so I jumped on it. So super happy to finally add this to my Dave Stevens collection. Beautiful, beautiful cover there. Next, we've got a couple of old Atlas books I grabbed from a comic dealer that I visit all the time locally. He had a bunch of stuff I grabbed from him. Just highlighting these few books I grabbed. We've got Amazing Adult Fantasy, number 9. This is a Ditko cover from 1962. This is low grade. All of these were low grade. He had a bunch of like those Atlas monster and horror titles. This is probably good range. It worked out to like 54 bucks, which is a pretty good price for this. We've got issue number 13. Again, another classic Ditko cover. This one is really cool. I do like this one. Again, low grade, probably good, very good. I think this one worked out to about 50 bucks as well, something like that. It was all bundled. I'm always bundling stuff together, but another cool Ditko cover. And of course, we got so close, but we got number 14. This is the final issue of Amazing Adult Fantasy before, of course, it's Amazing Fantasy 15. But we got 14 right here. And this is, again, from 1962 and the final issue. So I thought these are all pretty good prices. They were all less than 100 bucks. And these go for, these can be pretty expensive. So really happy with these. Wasn't sure what I was going to do with them at first, but I think I am going to hold on to those for a bit anyways. And then another book I grabbed from him, he just had laying around. I thought it was a cool cover and in pretty good shape. Really nice colors on this. This is Soldiers of Fortune, number 3. The cover is Ogden Whitney, and it's from ACG, American Comics Group, from 1951. So I just thought it was a cool, pirate, swashbuckler, damsel in distress cover. I'd never seen it before, so I picked it up. I can't remember what it was. It was cheap, like 20 bucks, so I don't know what it's worth, but I thought it was a cool cover. So very cool there. Next, we will go back to the same Instagrammer, Dave Bartik. I ended up buying some more books from him as we were talking. He had, we were talking about sci-fi and pre-code, and he ended up digging out some more books over the next few weeks for me to take a look at, and I ended up getting another 4 gorgeous books from him. So we've got some Planet Comics issues. These are all Joe Doolin covers. We've got issue 42, which I did not have, and these are all pretty solid. This one is gorgeous. I just love the monsters on these covers. They're just so cool. This one is from, of course, it's Fiction House. This is from 1946. I don't think I have this one, so very happy to add that. This one I do have, but my copy is really faded. So we got issue 46. I've got a few Planet Comics where the fading is terrible, where they're just super washed out. So to see this and be like, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like, I gotta have this now. So this one's nice, bright colors. Not my favorite cover, but again, still super cool. Again, Doolin on the cover from 1947. And next we've got issue number 47, which I do have, but this is a better copy, and it's a super cool 3-headed dinosaur cover. Love the blacks on it. Mine's got some rust on the staples and stuff, and This one's got a better spine alignment, so couldn't leave it. He gave me some pretty fair prices on this. I bought 4 books, so yes, yeah, super cool. This one's from 1947 as well. And then finally, I have picked up, this is my 3rd issue of this series. I have I think I showed this off this year. I think I got another copy of this series, but this is art by Bern Hogarth. This is Sparkler Comics, number 53. And I always love Bern Hogarth because he did one of these, it's a drawing book. I think it's Dynamic Drawing with Bern Hogarth, something like that. And I just remember when I was into art as a kid, having that book and going through the drawings and being amazed by his artwork, and to see, to stumble across some of his actual comic art is awesome. And I love this cover where you got Tarzan fighting the alligator here. I thought it was awesome. And this is in pretty good shape. This is a nice, solid mid-grade copy. So they weren't cheap books, but I got some good prices, and I was really super happy to get those. All right, next, I hit up one of my local shops. I don't go to too much anymore, but I popped in there and got some great books. First, we will start with Marvel Spotlight, number 7, 3rd appearance of Ghost Rider. This is just an awesome Mike Ploog cover. Mike Ploog's got some amazing art from the 70s at Marvel. Super cool stuff. This is probably in the fine range, something like that, but nice cover there. I also picked up, I can't remember what I paid. I think I got a bundle deal on all of these, of course, but we got Astonishing Tales, number 25. First appearance of Deathlock. It's Buckler on the cover. For some reason, I always get confused. It's Rich Buckler. I don't know why I always call him Joe Buckler or something like that. But, of course, first Deathlock, and it's first George Perez artwork at Marvel from 1974. So, very cool on that. We grabbed it. This is a solid copy. I think I sold off my other copy, but this is a nice shape. Hulk 162, first appearance of the Wendigo. I think it's going to be Herb Trimpe on this cover. This one's nice, probably in the VF range. This was pretty pricey. I probably got it for fair market value, but all the copies I found have always been, pretty rough shape. So happy to pick up a nice copy. All right, this one I knew nothing about. He doesn't have a lot of Golden Age in there, but sometimes they're just mixed in the bins. So I found this Toy Town I think this is number 4. It's from Orbit, 1946. So I had trouble finding specifics on this. I think this was Toy Town Comics for issues 1 and 2, which are L.B. Cole covers. I saw people listing this as L.B. Cole, but I don't believe it is. There's no signature. It kind of has that look, but I don't believe it is. I think it's Will Elder on the interior art. Anyways, I think it's his cover as well. I could be wrong, so if anyone knows, please correct me. I knew nothing grabbing it. He just had it for like less than $30, so I was like, oh, this is a cool gold. It's from 1946. It was in pretty good shape, so I snagged it. And finally, I have never owned this. This is one I've wanted to have for a while, and he had a copy just tucked in his bins. Probably, again, about fair market value. But we've got Blip, number 1. First comic stories with Super Mario and Donkey Kong. So this one, not in the best of shape. It's probably in the VG range, and it was about $70, which I don't know what it goes for now, but I never come across it, and I wanted it. So for that price, I was happy to grab it. I'm sure in high grade it goes for a lot more, but very cool find there. I was psyched to finally find a copy. Just tucked away in the bins that no one had picked up. I was surprised. All right. Next, we'll get back to some more Dave Stevens art. I was watching, I can't remember if it was an Instagram sale or whatnot, and it was an all Dave Stevens sale, and I watched the whole thing wanting to buy some Dave Stevens books. And man, it was a big seller, and he does a great job, but man, the prices were going crazy with the bids. It's if you're a fan of whatnot or Instagram, that's fine. I just usually stay off it because I find so many people overpay on those platforms, especially if it's a bigger seller. I don't know what it is. It's like they get excited to buy from certain people, but some of the prices were going crazy. So got me in a Dave Stevens hunting mood. So I went on eBay and pulled the trigger on a few books I've been wanting to find cheap. Local shops or antique shops, just haven't had it happen. So I ended up picking up these ones I didn't have. So we first got True Love, number 1. This is from Eclipse 1985. This is probably in the VF range. I think there's only 2 books in the series. So I don't know what this one typically goes for. I got it for, I think, like 23 bucks shipped or something like that. So I was happy with that. I thought that was a fair price for this. So very glad to find that. I found this at like cons and stuff, and it's usually priced so high. There's so much attention on Dave Stevens now that some people just mark the prices way up. But I mean, if you're patient, you can find these books at reasonable prices. So I mean, the book I had wanted was in this series. We'll show it off here. Cheval Noir, #1. I already have a copy, but this is a nicer copy. This is Dark Horse 1989, but the one I didn't have was #7. That's what I was targeting, and I think on that live sale, it went for like 150 bucks plus a raw copy, maybe even more. I think I tuned out partway through the auction. But I just went on eBay and looked it up and added it to my saved searches. And sure enough, someone put it up within a couple days. Someone put up 2 lots of Cheval Noir, and I think I picked them both up for like 30 bucks each. So other issues I didn't want, but I did get #7 as well, which is phenomenal. I've never had this one. Absolutely gorgeous. This one's probably in a little bit better shape than #1. I think I worked this out to like 26 bucks shipped is what I paid for it. So if you're patient, you can find these. They're not super rare. There's a lot of them on eBay. I didn't have problems finding listings. I still see new lists. It's still saved in my searches. I still see them keep popping up. So some of these books, guys, just be patient. You don't have to pay, some of these big prices that are out there. If you're patient, you can find them at good prices. So, but beautiful stuff. Very happy to finally have that #7. All right, next is going to be one of the best deals I had in 2023. I sell at a local antique shop that I've mentioned many times before. There's a few vendors I buy from. I always check out their cases when I'm kind of stocking my stuff, and I walk by one of the cases. The guy's got cards, usually kind of lays the better books on a shelf, and then there's boxes with more filler stuff on the bottom, and he'll lean books up against it. And one day I went in, and this was just leaning up against the front box, priced at 10 bucks, and I get like 10% off because I'm a dealer. But I couldn't believe it was just sitting there and no one grabbed it. Green Lantern #76. Unbelievable to see this just sitting there. It's plain view. Anyone could see it. $10. I'm surprised none of the other dealers grabbed it. It's one of the dealer that typically will buy out, underpriced books from the other dealers. So it's rough. I mean, it's probably in the good, very good range, but this is a classic Neil Adams cover, 1970. This is the start of the Green Lantern, Green Arrow team-ups, and this book is pricey. I think 3Os are going for like 150 right now. So to find that for 10 bucks was amazing. It's one I've always wanted but not wanted to pay for. So still shocked this was just sitting in the antique store like that in plain view and no one grabbed it. $10. Amazing. That was a huge find. So super, super psyched to have that. And what's great about finding it cheap is it makes it easier to pull the trigger on a pricier, better copy, knowing I can flip this one and make a good profit. So that's always good. All right, next we've got another Golden Age sci-fi book I wanted for a while. I had been looking at this at a con last year and didn't end up making a deal, but I took a gamble. This was definitely a gamble. I found an eBayer running an auction, had like 1 feedback. I did my research. I was looking for sold copies of this book, seeing if I could see the same photos, reading, just doing as much research on it as I could. There had like no bids going on because this guy had like no feedback, but I took a gamble. Like I said, I won the auction and I got the book in just the condition it looked like. So we've got Strange Worlds #5. I ended up winning this for like 450 bucks. This is probably in the low VG range. It's tough to see, but the corner of the Avon is actually chipped off. I just tucked it back in. You can see it's kind of moved around, but this is an awesome Wallywood cover from I forget what the date is. This is from 1951. So I have it at probably like good, very good. It's probably in the 3, maybe 3.5 range, but still just an awesome sci-fi cover. You got this crazy monster. You've got the bondage going on. Just phenomenal Wallywood artwork. So I thought it was a great deal. I just looked up right before I did this. The last sold copy I found on GPA was 4 or 5 for about $1,000 in December. So I thought that was a fantastic deal, but I was nervous as heck waiting for this to show up, but he delivered. So if you're going to take a gamble, look at those sold listings and look if you can see the same photo. If it's a listing's been sold, something been canceled, you really got to do your homework if you're going to take a gamble. I see so many people making posts of being burned on these huge keys at insane prices. You got to do your homework. I was looking at his other listings. Did the photos match? The background match? I could tell he was using the same comic boxes, but they were in, you could tell there was, there were enough clues that I felt confident, maybe 75% confident it was real, and it paid off. So really, really happy with that one. All right, and now to kind of like the last month. I think I got all this in the same day. I'm not sure. I was hitting up an antique shop. I've wanted this book for a while. It's a cool Adam Hughes cover. Again, just one I wanted to find cheap, and I haven't found it kicking around in dollar bins or anything, but went into this antique shop. This guy had it way overpriced, but was running a 50% off sale, so I ended up getting it for probably about fair market value. So Justice League of America #6 from, I think this is 2007. Is it 2007? Yeah, 2007. Love this Adam Hughes cover. Won it for a while. Like I said, it's probably about the very fine near mint range. So I think the guy had it 40, but it was doing 50% off. So it was $20, which is probably about what it's worth. You can tons of copies on eBay. So very cool Adam Hughes art there. And next we've got a lot of J. Scott Campbell. I hit up a new shop that's near me that I've never been to. It's called Geeked Out Comics. It's in New Hampshire, and I'm drawing a blank where it is. But I popped in there, and the guy had a bunch of J. Scott Campbell. I think he was a Campbell collector, just selling a lot of his stuff in his shop. So I got a bunch of great books. There's some I left behind. We will start with X-Men Worlds Apart. #1. This is in decent shape. This one's probably in very fine near mint range, and it's about $10, which is about what it's worth. So this is an older Campbell cover. This is from 2008. So nice book there. These are all just books I'm buying just for the art. I do like Campbell's art. I love these. I typically don't go after the independents, but man, these Warlord of Mars books are very cool. We've got issue #3. Again, very fine near mint. This was like $4, which is, it's what it should be. I find these on eBay all the time, but a lot of people are pricing them high, and I don't want to pay $10 plus $6 to ship one of these books when, I don't find a lot of them out, but very happy to find that one. I don't see that title typically in my comic shops. It's kind of tough to come by, but I also don't want to pay the eBay prices. Next, we've got Spider-Gwen, the Midtown Comics variant, Spider-Gwen #1. I think I showed off in an earlier video. I found the black and white at a local shop, so happy to find the color one here. Very cool. Again, I probably got it for about FMV. I was bundling everything up, so some stuff was kind of a little high, and then I got some great deals on other books. Next, we've got one I've wanted for a while. All new Wolverine #1. This is when Laura Kinney takes over as the new Wolverine. Just the cool, I've always loved this cover. It's the cargo hold variant from, I forget what year this came out. 2016. So this is in nice shape. It was about, I think he had it like $30, so it worked out a little cheaper when I bundled it up. Again, probably what it's worth. I'm not buying these thinking these things are going up tremendously in value. I just dig the Campbell art. So if I find them affordable and I find them in a shop, I don't have to buy them on eBay, I will snatch them. Next, we have got, I don't even know that I wrote this one down, but we've got Amazing Spider-Man #15. This is the J. Scott Campbell store exclusive. It's got Mary Jane in the Iron Spider costume, and it's autographed. I can't remember what I paid for this one. I didn't write it down. I want to say he had it marked at like $40 or $50. I can't remember, but it's a nice shape, so I was happy to find that on his wall. All right, next, this is one that is highly sought after. It is Danger Girl. This one's Danger Girl Revolver #1, but it's this red smoking gun cover. So you got to watch out for this one, because honestly, I didn't realize how many versions of this are out there. The original is Danger Girl #2 from 1998, I believe. And if you find the red foil variant of that original one, it's like a $3,000 book. But this is another series. It's Danger Girl Revolver #1. This is one of the variant covers. Still pretty pricey. This was not cheap. But again, he had it on the wall. I really didn't want to pay that price, but it was the first time I'd been in there, and I had other books I wanted. So sometimes I'll just pay up for things, especially finding it on the wall in a local shop and not having to buy it on eBay. So this was a little under $100. So still pricey, but again, it's probably about what it's worth. You can probably find it on eBay. The original, though, holy cow, really pricey in the red foil. But happy to have that one. All right, last 6 or 7 books. I think I got all of these from the same shop. We've been talking about Campbell, so I think he ran home and brought back some other books. But we've got Amazing Spider-Man 606. This is those 3 issues that are highly sought after from the Volume 1 run. This is a near mint copy, really nice shape. These were not cheap. This worked out to like $40. And he didn't have the other one, which is 607. 607 is one with the black hat that I really like, but he did have 601. And of course, I had to pay up for this. This is a pricey book. This thing goes for like $600 and a 9.8. But this is that. He got a lot of heat for this one, I think just a few years back, because of, the unrealistic body position, of Mary Jane, because of course Spider-Man's always in realistic body positions in the comics. But anyways, love this cover. I've bought this a few times. Been fortunate to find it fairly cheap a few times. This was not. This was, again, just a hair under $100. But it's near mint copy. I don't think it's a 9.8 though. So I did get a couple recently slabbed. I think I'm going to keep this one raw in the personal collection. So happy to find another copy of that. And it's cool to find a Campbell cover that was, the cover A, just as part of a run and not a store exclusive or a store variant. I don't know if it kind of predates his online store or what, but it's cool to have books that aren't, the exclusives he's putting out every couple weeks, or however often he's putting out exclusives. All right, next we've got a classic McFarlane cover here, Batman 423. This is in really good shape, near mint copy. I think I got this for less than $40. This, I can't remember if this is the 2nd or 3rd print, so you got to watch it. It's got the DC Comics Aren't Just for Kids there, which tells you it's either the 2nd or 3rd print. You got to open it up to check. I think it's the 3rd, but I can't remember. So the 1st print's got the little Batman there, and it's far more valuable. But always love this cover. This is one of the books I had as a kid that I kept into my adult years, and just always loved this cover. Yeah, it's just a classic McFarlane. Next, we have got another book I had wanted for a while. I think I picked it up a few months back, but he had this one signed, Walking Dead 100, signed by McFarlane. And this was, I thought, relatively cheap with the signature. I think this was, what was it? Did I write it down? Yeah, I got this for like $30 signed, which I thought was a fantastic deal. So I have a near mint copy, but I just grabbed it because it's got the signed, the signature. So I'll sell off my raw copy and keep this one in the PC. I thought that was awesome. All right, down to the last 4. These are the bigger books I grabbed from him. And again, I don't think these were all on the same trip. I think I took 2 trips there. But next we've got Wonder Woman 199. This is a classic cover. This is, I forget his name, Jeffrey Catherine Jones, the classic bondage cover from 1972. I got this for, again, probably about fair market value. I think it worked out to about $70, something like that. And I'd say it's mid-grade, but very happy to find that. Next, we have got a book I had and sold kind of when things were a little bit priced high. I think I had a nice 8.5 copy I got a great deal on, but I sold it for like $300 or $400. So happy to find this again. Batman 235. Again, this is mid-grade, probably in the fine range, and I think this worked out to less than $100. So I thought that was fair. It's the second appearance of Ra's al Ghul, and of course Neil Adams on the cover. So happy to replace the slab I sold with a solid raw copy. For me, there's certain books, I am happy to keep them in my personal collection in mid-grade and raw. There's very few that I really want to have graded out at a 9.8. So very happy. That's kind of in my wheelhouse, what I'm looking for. Nice presenting mid-grade copies. All right, last 2. These were definitely on separate trips. This is from the 2nd visit, I think. Iron Fist number 14. First appearance of Sabretooth. This is Al Milgrom on the cover, mid-grade copy. What is this from? 1977. This one is cooled off quite a bit. I have another copy I unfortunately bought in 2021 and paid a lot more for, and I think this one's in slightly better shape, but I think I got this for like 175 bucks, which is probably what it's worth. Maybe a little lower. I think higher grade ones are still going at decent prices, but pretty sure he's confirmed for Deadpool. But obviously the market's changed. A lot of the speculators that came in during COVID are now kind of out of it. So you're not seeing that huge price jump, which to me is kind of nice to being back to kind of realistic transactions. So happy to find another copy, and it's nice to be able to walk in and buy a nice mid-grade key for less than 200 bucks. So really happy to grab that. And finally, this is a big key I had never owned. Beautiful copy. I think I got a good price on this. This is probably, I put it down around VG fine, maybe a little better. So I think it's in the 5, maybe up to a 6 range. But it is a big X-Men book I never had. It is X-Men number 12. First appearance, an Origin of the Juggernaut, Origin of Professor X. It's got about an 1.5-inch color breaking crease there, but man, beautiful reds on that. A few other color breaks. I think the back looks clean. It's complete. The pages are nice. Of course, it's got some chipping and stuff, but I think it's a solid 5, maybe a little bit better. So I ended up getting this when it was bundled up with some of the other books for about 550 bucks, which kind of tough. I see some recent sales of 3.0s going for that price, and then I see some 5.0s going for 600 bucks all recently. So prices are kind of a little all over, but I thought that was for that price, a nice raw copy. I was happy with that. Super psyched to finally add that to the collection. So that is it for the haul, guys. We will start off with some of the books I've been buying in 2024. I've already had some big finds, so happy to, excited to show those off. So again, do me a favor, go down below, hit the like button, hit subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.